Right, so if you watch the throwing videos for years, you probably will notice that I rarely, I never use the profile rib on the outside, and all I use is just the rubber rib or the metal rib to make the curve on the outside. But I find out a lot of my students who struggle with using this kind of a rib to make the nice perfect profile or perfect curve on the outside. Research online and find out some of the profile rib might be a good idea for I'm not quite familiar with using this kind of a rib. So I designed a rib. It's made of wood and with a nice curve here. So we only use this to test it. See if this will be easier especially for beginners. Okay. So this is my prototype of the profile rib, or you can call it a munja rib. Okay, so I would test it out and see how it goes. Right, so first get the clay into the center. And now I'm ready to drill the hole. Initially, I usually like to use just my thumb and with my left thumb to kind of help him to support it. And make sure when you're drilling it, you have a support. So you see that I always put my hands on the outside part of the clay. If you do that, you don't have a very good support, and you probably end up with making the hole that is not very straight. Right, and then after that I will drill further using my left hand. And again, if you are just using one hand, it's not stable, so I usually put my right hand here on the side and then kind of brace my left on my right, and then my wrist is sitting right on the splash pan. Okay, and I usually take it all the way to the right thickness. I usually leave it about 3/8 of inch to 1/2 inch thick. And after that, I spread out the base. And then I compress the bottom further. Right, and now I'm ready to pick it up and lift up the wall. And since this piece it's short and small, so I'm just going to use my left hand to do my initial lifting. Just pinch and then lift it. Of course, one hand is not very stable, so usually I put my right hand here to support it while I'm lifting. And compress the rim. Right, so after my initial lifting, I am going to lift more, but now you can see that my left thumb is too short. So, but I still want to do the same kind of lifting method like my left hand. So I'm using my right thumb to replace it. You can see that. And now there's a little belly here. I'm going to just pick up the clay from there. Again, I use my thumb method, okay, like this, and both hands squeeze in the clay and move it up. And if in the middle, if you feel the clay is kind of sticky, meaning not slippery enough, it's totally fine to stop in the middle and then put some more slip there to lubricate it. Okay, you don't want to keep on going Otherwise, when it's becoming too sticky, that friction and too much friction, you will have twist. You gotta twist the wall, so make sure it is slippery. And you can continue from here. We'll pull it up all the way toward the top and compress the rim. Right? So now I think my wall is thin enough. So I am starting to, first I will remove the throw mark using the stray rib. Okay. Most of you might have this kind of a rib here. Okay, from the basic kit, the throwing kit. So you can use this to remove all the throwing mark by simply push the wall onto your rib, and you can hold your ribs very steady. You do that. If you have a little skirt of clay hanging here in the corner, you could use your rib just to chop it out from there. Right, you can squeeze it all the way toward the bottom, toward the back, and then remove it. You can use this part, you can just scrape it. Scrape it. Okay, so the bed is nice and clean. Now, you see my normal process of making the shape is that by now I would have using this to slightly bend it and then push the clay from inside. Okay, but like I told you that I designed this tool and see how this tool is going using this curve here. So I am holding it right here and then slightly pushing the wall onto the rib. Okay, so this is larger curve, and if you want to have a more curve, you can turn it into the other side and then keep on pushing it. Okay, so hold it there steady on the very bottom, and then pushing the wall onto the rib. Yeah, just remember your hand when you are pushing the profile, you have to move slowly. Okay, move your hand slowly. So slowly expanded your curve. Alright, so that's the curving part. And of course you could keep on expanding. Okay, this is not like a munja shape yet. So, but my curve is not curved enough. So all you want to do is, since you have this part already having initial curve, you can just go in, put your hand inside and then push it out a bit further. Right, just go there and slowly move out, so you can have a more curve on the wall. So you see that when you're shaping it, usually I kind of watching and look at here. So I bend my body and my eyesight is watching that profile here and see which spot I need to expand it. My inside hand is kind of pushing it out, right? See here, here's my finger and then start to move right here and here, right? And I want to push it more, so I'll apply a little bit more pressure here, right? And then here's my finger, and keep on going up. And right here, and push out, push out, push out. Right. So that's shaping. Initially using this curve, the larger curve first, and then smaller curve, and then the final push. Use just my hand to stretch it. When you are doing so, and make sure that you want to keep your rim a little bit firmer, so when you push, your rim is not deformed. Okay, see that my rim is thicker, so that will help to contain your rim without getting stretched too much, and then it become oval. So see that when I'm shaping, see that the rim stays there, right? Feel very good. Let me do the final shaping here. Okay, so keep the rim a bit thicker. It's the key for successfully stretching it. Okay, don't make your rim too thin. And then here, also the advantage of keeping this part thicker is that if you want to shrink it, make the top smaller, now you still have a clay that you can work with, right? So right here, if I want to make the opening smaller, I can just pour that clay from the rim and move it to the center. Right, that's the another advantage of having a little bit thicker on the rim, so you have room, you have more clay to work with. Right, so after that, just use a chamois to round the rim. And if you want the shoulder to be a little bit smoother, you can use a rib for just a very slight touch. Okay, and then usually you want to cut the skirt of clay from the corner. Not only you save some clay, but also the whole profile, the whole look will be nicer when the foot is smaller. I know some of studio request that you remove your piece from your bed. So if you do the skirt cutting, it will be a lot easier if you try to remove your clay from the bed. Because some of the studio have a limited amount of a bed, so they require their students to remove the bed. Remove the piece from the bed. If you have your own studio, of course you can have them sitting on your bed without touching your piece. That would be even better. Here, this is my bed system. So this system is to save you space. That's why I have one master bed here. It's 12 inches apart. And then there's a square one that is, you can insert it in there. You kind of nest in it. And once you're done, you just get a piece of wood and then just go in there, insert and open it up and pick it up like this. Right. So your piece is sitting on the bed. Of course, you could wire it up. Okay. People say that this is not absorbing water like the wooden bed, but yeah, the advantage or the disadvantage of having your bed is sometimes your bed is made of wood. That's good for drying the base, but then the wood is absorbing water, and then your bed is swell and it's not fitting anymore, or they warp, right? So this is made of aluminum, so all you need to do is just wire it up, and then it just come apart easily when the pieces dry further, and you can pick it up easily. So just wire it up. It's not that difficult, right? So now I want to cut it open to show you after all the stretching and what the inside look like. Right, so this is what it looks like on the inside. So it's quite even, a little bit thicker here, okay, a little bit, because when I pour the clay from there, I didn't push it very hard, so this part here, a tiny little bit thicker here. But other than that, the base is very nice and even. And all you need to do is, if you don't want to trim too much, just trim a foot like that. Okay, so your wall will be even all the way around from the bottom up to the rim. Right, so this is still my testing. I might do a little bit of modification, but this will be my original shape to start with. Profile rib. Okay, profile rib. Right, so thanks for watching and see you next time.